Yo, what's going on? My name is Winter. Thanks for checking out this video today and for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate it, and I hope you're doing well. Today we're checking out a game called There Is No Light. A game that's finally come out of early access, and it prides itself on being a difficult, no hand-holding, 2D Souls-like with beautiful pixel art. As you begin the game, you start with a typical tutorial scenario teaching you how to attack, and it's showing off its timing mechanic. You just basically have to attack when it turns red, hit them before they hit you. It's pretty simple to get the hang of. So it's your typical beginner tutorial zone. There's some sort of cataclysm going on, and some sort of cult that the people that live in this area are dealing with. Your child has been taken from you, you find out at the very beginning here, and your mother is laying there dying, and it's now your job to continue on. So I'm kind of an exploration nut, so you'll probably see me checking every nook and cranny as I go along, and there's usually nothing there, but sometimes there is. So butterflies are a huge theme of this game. For some reason, anytime you see some, it means you can interact with something there. Now there's a huge exposition dump right after this. It's full of story content, so I'm not going to spoil that. So I'm just going to cut out that section. It's going to jump ahead a little bit, but suffice it to say, you have been engaged upon this quest to rescue your child to start with, and all the townspeople are worshiping this crazy religious cult, basically called the Hand. And you'll see you have these moral choices that you can make when you're talking to them, which can affect your karma. There's a karma system in the game, and that also affects the ending of the game that you get. So you can go around and you can talk to people, as you can imagine, and sometimes you can give them an answer that will either be good or bad, and it will influence things. Also, as you go along, there will be little tidbits of story that you can listen to, or you can just skip through them. It's not required. At the beginning of the game, it's a bit slow, and there's a lot to get through before you get to the meat of the game, and that creature that's popping up is helping you figure out your way. Every so often, he pops up. The beginning of the game is pretty linear. You just have to follow along, hit the checkpoints, and move through the story. Here we have the first boss encounter of the game. I'll go ahead and show that because it shows off how crazy the battles can get. You have to put together your dodges and your strikes until you build up that bar at the bottom, and then you hit A if you're using a controller until you finish them off. Now we have another exposition dump. You probably won't be able to understand what's going on here, but anyway. finally greeted with the title card. Like I said, the beginning of the game is a little bit slow and takes a bit to get into the action. So there was another story section there. I promise I'm just going to cut all that out. No spoilers. Then you wake up and you finally get into the meat of your quest a little bit. You can talk to a few people in the area. The only thing that really is a big bummer is there is no map. And you really have to just pay attention to environmental cues and what people have to say to let you know where to go and what areas are closed off, where certain areas are. So basically just talk to everybody who's got an interaction marker above their head. Get the information they got. Make sure you read it. I walk around aimlessly for quite some time due to the fact that there's no map. And there's really nothing to tell you where you should be heading first. And the game does happen to have a good little bit sense of a humor in it. I was quite surprised by that. So then this happens. And this is the guy that's propelling you along. Get eaten by the snake. You basically work for this guy, so he'll have a lot of things to tell you. And basically, he's also going to kind of make fun of you a little bit. So then you're introduced to your skill trees. Later on, you'll be introduced to 3 more weapons, apparently. You start out with the sword. I haven't yet unlocked any of the other weapons. Of course, I've only played about an hour. So then he introduces you here to your little home away from home. This place, you can come anytime. There's a fast travel system in the game. It's similar to, any other Dark Souls or Elden Ring or, various other RPGs. And you can come to this place anytime, I guess, to rest or whatever. I keep wanting to check out every corner to see if there's anything more, but there's not. So he's going to have some more stuff to tell you. Go ahead and let you get a little bit of a sense of what the humor's like in the game. And these are the fast travel markers, and also where you, like I said, check out your skills. And then you'll fill this out with locations later on as you progress. So then we leave this place. Now we have access to the inventory, and you can basically finally start the adventure. So here's one of the first areas with some actual enemies, and it took me a little bit to find as I was wandering around quite aimlessly for a bit without any map to help me on my way. You want to check all the corners. There again, you need these things right here, these death vessels. They help you level up. So that's one reason you should check all the corners. I also noticed that if you strike the barrels and the boxes that are sitting around, that helps you keep your counter up for your ability and get you into your skill mode faster. Always be striking those to help keep yourself topped up. now we finally start to get a taste of combat proper. As before, anywhere there's butterflies, the game will also tell you that's an interaction point. The game only gives you 2 different difficulty options. There's Traveler mode, which is just kind of like an easy mode where you get free healing. It doesn't affect your karma system, which we'll show you that in a second, what I mean there. And there's also lesser enemy quantities as well. And then there's Normal mode, which is, I guess, just rough mode, which is what I'm playing on here. Your character can die within just a couple of hits in this mode, so you have to be really careful. I must be heading the right way if there's enemies. The combat is very fluid. It's very smooth. You really get into a rhythm, dodging and striking. There we have some more butterflies. And there we have a fast travel point. So now you have unlocked that, you can travel back and forth at any point from that little rest area of ours. Now here we have the first taste of a difficult battle that I've run across. We had the first boss battle, but that was kind of scripted. This here is some actual tough combat. They can hit you from all sides. You want to try to line your enemies up, and this is where I finally encountered my first death. It's just a ballet of dodging, striking, filling up that meter, and then unleashing your ability. I'm sure many people are used to mechanics such as these. They keep sending those dogs not only to catch you off guard, but that's also to help you keep your meter up. Almost dead. Now finally we have a bigger enemy here that can't be hit with the regular attacks. Well, it can be hit, you just have to stagger it with your A attack. And here's the healing items. If you die a couple of times, they give you a free med kit, but if you use it, you saw it takes away from your karma. Unless you're playing on Traveler mode, then it does not take away from your karma, and that's what I was talking about earlier. This one definitely took me a couple of tries. Once you have that meter charge at the bottom, then you hit A. That's what you want to hit these guys with the yellow above their heads with, and then get out of the way. And if you hit those, the game will explain that to you. get a health point. Finally, we make it through, and that's about all of the main combat that I'm going to be showing off. I made it a little bit farther into the game, but not too much at this point. I just mainly wanted to get this video out. And basically what I ran across up here a little further was another bit of an exposition dump. There are some characters here with some more information for you and something furthering the main plot line, which I don't want to spoil a whole lot of, but I will let the gameplay play out. And I just want to say, I know it's been a long time since this channel has released any videos, and the channel's been pretty well just dead for several years, but I'm resurrecting it. I'm bringing it back from the dead, and it's going to see a lot more content coming out here shortly. There's already a couple more videos in the works, including a return to Fallout modding content, as they're still making mods for that game as we speak. Unbelievable. And everything else that I was doing, as well as a bunch of new stuff, and we're going to keep the train rolling, fire it back up. So to anyone who cares, that's what's going on, and I can't wait to share more with you. And at this point, I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys how the internet works. If you want to like the video, you can. If you want to subscribe, you can. If you don't have to, and it's all good. That's going to be it for me for now. This was There Is No Light, a very interesting game that I want to try out. I think my next video that I want to be having come out is going to be on Death Trash. So be looking out for that one. And I appreciate you stopping by, giving me any part of your time. So thank you and take care.